and welcome to another cheesy home video brought to you by IT Gasms. I'm Gita. This is Amy Jo. That's Stefano. And that's Greta. I didn't drink today yet. None of us have.
It's Greta from Poland. She makes me feel not like man, like manimal.
I know.
And with that, we'll take your questions. All right, you can all go home.
I have a little.
Yeah.
I have a little issue that's come up that I didn't expect at all. But it's just like I talked about with Melina, and it's just old programming. But in the past, I've felt uncomfortable around my friends, with their girlfriends, and then I worked on that, and I don't feel it normally at all. But now there's this circle, and that just brought it back a little bit. You know?
Oh, you couldn't introduce your friends to me?
No, I'm not like that. But I don't know. It's just
not.
It's still hard for me to understand it, but it's just a little bit of just not fully comfortable the way I should be. I don't know. Huh? Yeah. I didn't want to say that, but but in the past, I've my friends get girlfriends, and then we don't hang out, and then stuff like that, and it's oh, no, not even. Okay. So I was oh, okay, I don't have a friend for a couple years. That's cool, but now we have a circle. And I'm oh, no time for hobo. Yeah. Okay, I'll just be honest. I was feeling uncomfortable, and I was trying to figure out what it was. And then, I woke up, and I was oh, I'm not... Because I was oh, I must be jealous of Steph. I don't feel like it, but maybe I am.
No.
I guess... Yeah, no, but... Yeah. And then, I woke up, and I was oh... I'm jealous of Amy Jo.
How you too?
Yeah. So.
Amy Jo from the BGTP.
Yeah, about that. Oops, sorry guys.
I don't know for sure, but I think I might very well be evil.
But I like it. It turns me on. I love a bad boy.
So in a bike and shit costume.
That's right.
I love what you said on the forum, that it brings you much comfort to know that if things with you and your girlfriend Melina don't work out, you could always jump into the
I've been working with the law of attraction.
Just get some man boobies on
Yeah.
If we sell enough BGTPs, we can get you a sex change.
So somebody else had a question?
Can you expand on attracting other guys' girlfriends or
Okay, the boyfriend destroyers. Let's get into this.
What do you mean contracting?
No. If you find yourself, I found myself before with a girlfriend. I've almost attracted threesomes, but it was from friends that had girlfriends, and it was their girlfriends.
Yeah.
And, but
the thing is, if you feel guilty about it, are you trying to get the girl in a sly kind of way, or is it just because you're naturally attractive to the girl?
Yeah, the natural part.
Yeah, like you're not gonna like dumb yourself down just to. I mean, if you can't handle his relationship, it's not your fault. Like you know.
Is there a way to like to handle that without losing the friend though? And like, is it? Or not really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, depends on how involved the friend is.
Yeah. Just get in the GTP, you know.
Christmas is coming up. This is how I do it.
You may have a chance of getting her back.
High quality problems.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah, we want to hear your voice.
Okay, I was just wondering, how do you three girls, like, I know Amy Jo and Greta didn't really, like, know each other. And so,
We
arranged
were
marriage.
joking at the airport that it was an arranged marriage.
Really? It really was.
How many gals does she have?
7.
But the thing is, Gita and I are in a certain energy, I guess, and she knows us and loves us, and she also knows us and loves us. So it's probably just similar consciousness is how I explain it to them, and like if it doesn't work out, I mean, living on the edge, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, let's put them together and see what happens.
Yeah, like we need a crowbar to like.
Yeah, separate.
Yeah,
Which one's
I
stuck
saw
in the middle,
that.
you know?
Yeah.
That's the crowbar.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
For Amy, Jo, and Greta, how does it feel coming from, you know, shitty relationship to Sorry,
You mean from a relationship?
From shitty to a happy?
Yeah.
Then you're going an answer. This is an answer.
The picture speaks for itself.
Yeah. I mean, you know, happy. I really think it's a big release. What more can I say? Really.
How much you love us?
I'm not a good speaker today.
One thing I've noticed is they'll talk a lot about their ex-boyfriends, just in a like, oh my god, whoa, I didn't realize this, I didn't realize that, oh.
Yeah.
So there's like been a lot of releasing.
Now I see how blind I was before. Like I didn't see anything of it.
Or you see, but we see these things, but we tend to ignore them. We
Yeah.
tend to make compromises. We go into sympathy with our lovers and like.
Yeah. What are some specific examples, like of things
Could you elaborate
you
on
mentioned?
Okay.
If it's not too personal.
In my life. Well, with Greta, one thing we noticed was that the boyfriend was very, very passive aggressive, like really needy in that sense. And she'd just been with him for so long, she just figured like that's just the way things are. She didn't really. Then when we spent some time together, she was like, "Why are you not trying to control me? Like, I can speak my truth. You don't freak out and get all insecure."
You're a real man.
Wow.
You're a real man.
Yeah, it was really like weird for me to just to be able to say whatever I wanted to say and no one judged me for it. I was like, oh okay, so I can say even more bullshit, you know? That would be fine. Like I never spoke. I just always spoke like wise things in my life. I never spoke bullshit. So now I have to do the bullshit thing, you know?
Yeah.
And they accept it.
One thing is women get emotional and it's hard for them to stay detached at times. And it's okay to be a woman,
Yeah.
you know?
Love that post you said. You can be
Yeah.
a woman around me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can be a woman around me. I won't freak out, I won't get scared. Guys get really scared when a woman gets emotional because they think it's personal about them, or they start going into fear of loss and things like that. But I don't really have fear of loss anymore. It's funny, like, as soon as you really get rid of the fear of loss, abundance, you know? It's like with money, you stop worrying about money all the time. You start thinking about what you want to do with your life instead, and you draw in abundance. It's backwards universe theory hits again. I'll let you speak about your experiences.
The freedom that you felt in the car.
Oh yeah, like today I was in the car and we were listening to music, and like for the first time like Stefan turned it up, because I always had to kind of just be really constricted with everything, even like music or anything, but turn the music, we're listening to music, we're all dancing and we're singing and in the car and we're dancing as we can in the car, and I literally felt like, I just stopped and said, guys, I feel the freedom that I've only felt when I've been single, like that, and that's really powerful, to be with 3 people but feel. It was like experiencing interdependency, and that's like the beauty of circles, feeling like you're free. That's what circles are about, is like feeling free.
Yeah, a lot of guys misinterpret my stuff. They see the spank picture and whatever, which is supposed to be humorous. It's not supposed to be taken seriously. And there's a lot of guys that I'm noticing that are like, oh, this is how I can learn to control a bitch, you know? And so they'll listen to my stuff and they'll ignore all the stuff about compassion and heart and raising your consciousness and meditating, and they'll just listen to the like word for word spanks that I've posted. The mind control. They want the control. And there's a huge difference between leadership, which is up here, and control, which is like reptilian brain consciousness. You know. So it's quite alarming, actually, how many people I'm noticing that are really stuck in the control frame.
Possession.
Possession. We reduce women into things. We try to like. It's like she's a teacher. That's her gift. You know, she can public speak. She can write. Gita's. I gave her a blog and she like falls asleep at the It's not her. Gita's more of like a muse, like she's an inspiration. She likes to devote herself to me. She likes to just, how can I help, you know? And she's a beautiful inspiration. Like she's an inspiration to a lot of, even the PUA community. She goes out and they're all like, holy fuck, she's good at pickup. You know, and whatever she does, she'll get good at it. Just to like help all of my students, like naked squirting, for example. So she's a muse, like an inspiration. Greta's more of like a healer. She's a masseuse, and she's into the healing arts. So I'm gonna look at what a woman's uniqueness is and try to help her develop that. You know, and that's not controlling. I want to help her blossom. If I help her blossom for a while and then she blossoms off of the path onto a different path, I have to. That's cool. You know, but guys are like, no, you're coming with me. They want to be fear of loss and insecurity and things like that. So huge difference between being a leader and being like a dictator. You know. Thanks for your question. Grown-ups don't cry.
We're not a grown-up, we're teenagers.
No.
I don't know.
Can I ask?
Of legal
Because I
age.
remember that you said that those specific roles are important for your circle. Why is that?
Specific what?
I remember you said, you mentioned on the board that the specific roles of teacher, muse, and healer are important for your circle. Why is that informing your circle?
Oh, well,
is that just,
if you look at my life and the way, the things I teach and things like that, it's nice to have the inspiration. It's nice to have like a co-teacher. And it's nice to have someone healing us while we're doing it.
Yeah. So it's like basically each circle can like form with unique individual.
Yeah, they call that complementary opposites. You know, there's like polarity, yin-yang polarity, but then there's complementary opposites where like, I don't know if I'm a healer, but so she's kind of like an opposite, but it complements what I do, and what I do complements what she does and what they do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Could you explain love and lust consciousness and how that applies to circles?
Okay. Love is when your consciousness is in here. Lust is when your consciousness is
Sometimes it makes it
the only problem that guys who come to me that learn about this have is they get a feeling down here, then they go in here and try to figure out what to do about it. It's moving out of the mind, and that's meditate. Learning to observe your own mind. Okay. Learning to observe your own mind and your own thoughts and not take what's going on in here seriously. Learning to just like watch it silently. And the mind starts to dissolve. And sometimes you get into these states where like colors change. I'm getting into one now. Things start slowing down. Because I've been working on this a long time. Not enlightened, but hopefully in this lifetime, like with the girls, there's things like jealousy will come up, possessiveness, like we're still human. And so the trick is not to like force the feelings down and put food on top of them. The trick is to help them to feel it consciously. And not repress it, but go ahead and feel it. Bring up the emotion and can you stand back and observe it? That's the difference. And the more they stand back and observe the possessiveness, it's like an orange that just shrinks into nothing. So there's still a little, like we just started this thing, but we've come a long way in a week that we've been here.
It's fun.
Yeah, one thing about circles is when you get the girls together for the first time, every possible issue that they've ever had since birth pops up. And that's why I like this, because I'm seeking enlightenment, and I've noticed that like, how else am I going to learn about myself through relationships? I learn a lot about myself really quick, By doing it this way, it's just like accelerated time. It's like relationships squared. So it's hard, like I don't sleep at night.
You're sleeping. Not much though.
But it's not always like you see the girls now giggling, whatever. It's usually like this, but there are times when there's like an emotion that comes up, the pain body comes up. And one thing that's interesting is girls tend to go in sympathy with each other. So like, if she's feeling something in her pain body, they will automatically go with her. And now it's like, you bastard! Fortunately, I'm detached. I just observe it, my heart rate doesn't accelerate much anymore. That stuff goes down. But losing the fear of loss is what it's all about. If I had fear of loss, I would lose them. Because I would start unconsciously sabotaging it. Be like, are you sure you love me? Sometimes to get into pain body, helping them to cry is really good for releasing. They're in pain body. Sometimes I'll take them, hate sharing this stuff because the dark people listening, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna really fuck her over." I'll take her to the edge of her pain body. So like Gita, when we first got together, her possessiveness started to come up, and like she realized like the girls really fell in love with me. I'm falling in love with them. Like it was like it's a real deal. And Gita was like.
Yeah. I do some deep breathing.
And it was really bad, and I was like, take the feeling and double it.
Yeah, it's not much
Double
fun.
it.
Very rewarding.
You know, because they tend to start to feel bad, and then they try to repress it. You know, like, I shouldn't be feeling this way. No.
Yeah.
Feel that way more. And you can say something like, I can see the tear that's beginning to form behind your eye.
Yeah, that one's good.
Let it out.
Oh.
That one was fun.
Oh, nice.
Then the crying comes out. Just now, yeah.
Okay, just
This isn't mind control.
No.
I love what Amy just said today. We're talking about how, like, not young girls, mostly older women just, like, fucking hate us. And, you know, because we're happy. What did you say?
I just thought like, oh, she's not happy. She's not happy. She doesn't even know it. Like she's delusional. Like she's so
deranged.
unhappy. She's so unhappy. She doesn't even know it. It's so sad.
It's amazing.
And that's how they feel.
Perception
Yeah.
is a lie. It's all
So-
projection.
They're so unhappy.
Yeah. So circles are evil.
Evil. Circles are so
They're
evil.
so evil. Especially circles.
Yeah, this reminds me of this quote from Bill Hicks going like, the only thing more beautiful than a woman is two. That's case 3.
One thing I noticed in London, LA is pretty chill. People just assume, oh, he's a rock star. And they move on
Those
to
are
the day, you
degrees,
know? They keep pushing their grocery cart. But in London, in Britain, oh, we got kicked out of restaurants, you know? And it's just like, why are women especially like just so angry about it? So I was meditating, and what I like to do is when I don't understand someone, I just pretend that I'm them. I like merge with them. You know, like the chakras teach us how to merge with an oak tree or merge with the sun. It's all merging. Meditation is just merging. Anyway, so I'll merge with women. And imagine you're like this attractive wife with your husband, and you know, like a 10 walks by, a gorgeous model walks by. It sucks, but you have to deal with it, and women learn to deal with it. This is like 10 times 10 times 10, 10 squared. It's like the most attractive. Would you take a 10? Or 3 of them. Suddenly those skinny models ain't all that. And so it's like too much light, and they just feel so unattractive in their husband's eyes, and in my eyes, and in their own eyes. So it triggers their deep insecurities. It triggers jealousy, especially like. How many relationships are happy? I haven't seen many, you know. Yeah.
About that, huh?
Yeah. All right, next question.
Yeah. What are specific examples how specifically a circle makes you grow more than like a usual relationship?
It brings out the ego.
Quickly.
Really quickly.
Yeah.
So like,
First,
take your average problems with that you can have as a girl. Let's say a girl doesn't speak her truth. You know, she like withholds, you know, maybe she's shy. She can't be in a circle. Because if she's feeling upset about something and represses it, they're gonna feel it. and they won't know what's going on, and they'll start feeling more and more insecure, and it just starts circling the drain.
Yeah.
So like everything must be managed. You don't have to be perfect, but you have to be able to unidentify with the mind.
Yeah.
Mind is I know my ego, and he's a real asshole. Like, a narcissistic fuck. Like, perpetually insecure and self-doubt. And so is everyone's mind. Mind is just duality, you know? I like chocolate, so I must hate vanilla. And so learning to just observe the mind. I was telling someone that, like, we're going to be having a conversation, and we're going to blink our eyes a couple of times. Our bodies are going to be old, ugly, going to be falling apart, and then our bodies are going to fall to the ground, and we're going to go right on talking. This isn't me. This isn't you. The shit in here isn't us. We're eternal. And once you come to terms with that, now we can talk about circles, you know. Until fear of death is transcended, gone, you know.
Wow, that was amazing. That was meditative.
The recording's done? Good? No, sorry.
Everyone's all silent now.
So I have I'm dating a girl right now that's bi, but how do you go about when the natural feelings of the girl on the girl stuff starts happening, and they obviously are gonna probably try and repress it because they think that it's like they obviously see they don't haven't introduced to the idea of circles yet, pretty much. How do I go about like introducing that whole like idea and I guess getting it started on the right foot, I guess.
First of all, I'm not even sure that I believe in the label bisexual. I think girls are just naturally cuddly and okay. Lower consciousness girls are jealous bitches. They hate each other, they backstab each other, they're competing for each other's boyfriends and stuff. Once they like start getting heart consciousness, they really start like, wow, you're pretty, it doesn't mean I'm not. And they start appreciating each other. They couldn't be in a relationship without me. They could, but it's not the same, you know? So they're not gonna have polarity with each other. They're all feminine. So girls, I don't know that I really believe in bisexuality. I think it's just comfort with each other and a love for each other. And it's like they're helping each other out to like play under the oak tree.
Yeah. So true.
And like guys asking, how do you get your girlfriend to want to do circles with you? It's like it's not something you really convince her. It's like when your relationship is so good, she's like crying and squirting and the relationship is overflowing. She just naturally want to be like and share it. It's like if you were instantly a millionaire, you naturally just want to like invite your friends out to dinner too. I'm the meal.
He's the sausage.
We're the meal. Sausage with feet. We're the meal. You know, like we have a lot of love to give.
Yeah.
So it's not like I had to like
force them on him, you know.
So like to start talking to girls about circles, they have to be out of the mind, or at least on the way out, learning, you know. If you give her an Eckhart Tolle book and she goes, ah! She's got to be a seeker of truth, or a spiritual seeker. She can't just be like a normal consciousness girl. She's got to be detached. She's got to be the observer, you know? Otherwise, it's not going to happen. And even a good relationship isn't going to happen if we're in the mind. You The mind must go, must dissolve.
How do you determine what's too much work as far as getting someone to move out of the mind and into the heart?
Yeah.
Because very
It's
few
hard
start
to
there
know where
already.
to draw the line. Like where I would draw my line, it would be different. I wouldn't suggest that someone else draw the line there. I would suggest that they try harder. Because like, I'll stay in a relationship to the bitter end. Till I know I can't fix it. I'll like
100%.
lose sleep, cry, stop eating. I'll like really give it my all. I think we owe it to each other because we're just each other's mirror anyway. So also like looking at the level of consciousness of the girl. If her consciousness is just way below yours and you're trying to save someone, that's not training, that's saving someone. I don't know how to answer where you draw those lines. It's like the most difficult question, isn't it?
Would it come to trusting your intuition?
Yeah, but how do you like trust your intuition? Like you gotta again get out of the mind and into the chakras.
The balance, I guess, listening to the GTP and everything is when you have someone that is very conscious and is moving towards that, and yet there's certain things like, that won't go the way that you're trying to direct it, and then like you'll talk about just firing them.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, where is the line of, okay, I'm giving you a chance to move towards this, or, okay, you're fired.
Yeah. I'm going in that direction. I'm on my train. She'll give me information that's contrary to where I'm going. I'll listen to it, but if I don't agree, and she's doesn't want to stay on the train with me, she's got to go immediately. Like I never go to bed unless the issue is solved tonight. We're gonna stay up till the crack of noon and figure this out. I don't go to bed angry and like, I can't believe these couples, they have an argument and then they go to sleep and time heals all wounds. Yeah, but it's swept under the rug. It's going to come out later. It's going to come out harder. So that's one thing, like I never go to sleep unless it's solved. I hope that answers your question. Or I hope it brings a new one. Because I'm afraid of that one.
Steph, recently you wrote a post saying you had a new Satori moment. You had like an hour and a half you felt this enlightening feeling. Could you expand on that? I'm really interested.
It's just through meditation, sometimes you hit these states where you're just so outside your body. It's like you're here. It's like I'm really working on the crown chakra these days, and that's really been the next phase. And when I'm in that state, kind of getting into it now again, it starts to get into slow motion. I look at my watch and it says now. I just feel tingly all over. I feel so peaceful, and it brings tears to my eyes because I know all my friends are in pain, and I almost want to dissolve into that feeling, but then pull myself back because there's work to be done.
How have you dealt with jealousy within the circle?
It's really easy.
First step.
Depends on the girl you're dealing with and where she is, what level she's in. Like with Gita, I can just kind of go, how quickly you forget who you are, Gita. She'll be like, and then she'll cry and everyone hugs her, and And then we had sex. So now when I feel jealousy, I'm like,
I'll pretend to be jealous now.
you gotta be careful though, because if they're feeling it too intensely, like I said, the other girls will start just feeling really bad inside, and they tend to go into sympathy with each other.
I've also found that like let's say I have like some kind of pain body or jealousy attack, they'll look at me and go, "Thank you for learning that lesson for me. I didn't realize I had a little piece of that inside of me." And then they'll cry and they'll release it as well, instead of I release it and she releases it and she releases it, or like vice versa. So
a couple weeks ago, we were at this bar and talking to girls and mingling and doing our thing, and a lot of girls, when they see the circle, some of them hate us, but some of them just like look at me like, "Daddy, I'm home."
No, three's enough.
And so whatever, I went home, and the next week we went back to the same place, and these two girls come running up to me, and they're like, "Stefan!" And I'm like, "Oh, hi." I talked to a lot of people, like I didn't know what to say, and I was like, "Hi," And one of them got really hurt by it, like, because I didn't remember her name. And I was like, "Oh, names, it's not who you are. It's not your name that I remember, Look at me, it's okay." And and she got even more mad and more upset. Anyway, so she went and sat down, and then the other girl started to get mad at me too, and went and sat down, and I went and sat with them. But one of them was extremely hurt, and next thing you know, every girl that I was with, like even like our semi-platonic friends and other girls, they all hated me, and they didn't know why. And I was just like, "I'm glad I meditate." And I tried to get the one that was really in pain out of it, but it didn't work. So I grabbed Gita and I explained to her what was going on, and I snapped her out of it. And then Gita went and talked to her, and it really helped to snap her out of it. And then I had to talk to all the girls. I'm like, "Don't go into sympathy with her. Don't forget who we are." And they do. They do. Women are beautiful bitches. Like the emotion is so intense. So, learning to, like, it's not about you. Their emotions are not about us.
Sometimes it's the silliest thing.
Really learning to not take it personally.
Oh, and like the jealousy also, it has.
I'm gonna give you the stage. I'll be back.
Oh, sweet! I get to
like it has a lot to do with how able the woman is, able to detach from feeling jealousy. Like, I mean, like I can give you, I can give like an example of. Like when I felt jealous because I had to be the driver because I'm the only one with the license, and then we just picked Greta up, and it's like this arranged marriage, and I've never met her before, so I'm like in the front and they're all in the back, and I'm like, okay, this is weird, I'm feeling pretty jealous, and I started to take things. So cute. I started to take things like a little personally, like Stefan made some kind of joke, and like, "Oh, we went in a circle," and I said something like, "Oh, well, I had to, like, and then after I said that, I was like, fuck, no. So I just was like, well, like if you're feeling jealous, just like put your hand back there and be with them, and then my ego's like no. But then I was like, and then I was like, and then right after that too, this is instantaneously because these are my thoughts, and then right after that I'm thinking, like, fuck, no, put your fucking hand back there. Like, these are, like, your new lovers. These are the people that you're gonna be sleeping with. Like, don't be all like, oh, chauffeur, if you're jealous, like if you're jealous, that's when you want to go, and it's okay to grab affection, or not grab affection, but if that's okay, that's like when it's time to, like, you know, if I feel jealous that Greta and Gita are like hugging Stefan, that's when I make the decision to go hug Stefan as well.
Alright, I'm jealous.
and that too, like, right after I did that, I just said, guys, I'm jealous. I'm sorry, like, I'm jealous. Just telling them.
Yeah, and
I'm
us
jealous.
accepting it and not going, well, you shouldn't be.
Yeah, and just
Going, oh, you're human. Cool.
Yeah, and then
oh, it's so
Hop in.
beautiful.
Yeah, and then
beautiful.
the girls having the appreciation that I'm able to detach and say, look, guys, I'm jealous, and then they're like, yeah, go me too. And talk to me about it, cry it out. Yeah, so I mean, just being able to just be like, just sharing what you're feeling at every
and
moment.
think of how deeply she gets rewarded in that moment, how much love gets, like, transmitted or downloaded into her for coming clean and
for coming clean,
speaking her truth and detaching from it. Immediately she's showered with all this love. That's another thing, like, the girls have to, we have a barometer for how much success we're able to deal with. Like, lotto winners lose all the money in a year because they don't have money consciousness, they don't have wealth consciousness. And, like, there's love consciousness and how much we feel we deserve, and depending on how much guilt and shame is still inside of us. Yeah, so barometers, people have, like, a barometer, let's call it, of how much love they will allow themselves to accept, depending on how much guilt and shame and ego that they've fleshed out. So, like, we'll meet girls that want to be in the circle, but then after a couple of days they realize it's a lot more love than they were prepared to handle. And if they have too much guilt and shame in them, they sort of know that I can see it, or I can at least see some of it. And even though I have compassion, like, the human condition is hard enough without us adding to it with our anger and projections, you know. It's like you look into some people's eyes and you know that they can see you more clearly than you can see yourself, and that's scary, especially when there's a lot of guilt and shame inside someone. So, like, girls just come and go, they pop off, can't handle it. Them, they're, like, so far the highest peaks, the ultimate flowerings of women that I found in my search. And they kind of came to me.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go to the clubs and, like, ask for female opinion.
Still remember that day with the interview, Mom.
God is here. What? Don't embarrass me in front of my friends.
No.
Yeah.
Stefan, this is a question regarding purpose and relationships, like how you balance your purpose and relationships. For you, it's obviously your purpose is intertwined with your relationship. For me, I'm like an artist. I have a lot of, like, conflict about how I spend my time with myself versus, like, even if I'm going out to meet girls out in public, say on a Friday night, I'd say to myself, I really value being an artist and I really want to create great visions, but I have a problem with reconciling that with my desire for women as well. I have a, you know, sex is just always, that energy is so strong.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how to deal with it sometimes, especially in pursuit of my purpose.
Have you tried the breathing stuff? Bringing the energy up the spine?
I've tried a little bit. I mean, I've looked at
Yeah,
it.
It takes a little practice, but eventually you can start cycling that energy, and it starts to like give you energy everywhere. Also grounding, like if you want a trick for getting grounded, just do a Kegel. It's like
Everyone just did a giggle.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's not a good vision.
Like for me, when I'm feeling creative, or like when I just have to go read a book, I'll go read it. Like, okay, girls, I'm off to go find the truth.
Yeah, in your cave.
And I go seek, and then when I'm done seeking and I'm tired or I found too much and I'm freaking out, like we're either like building something or celebrating what we've built, you know. I don't know, did that answer your question?
So you say maybe kind of listen to your own awareness and natural urges, and kind of if you are obviously to have desire in an area to express yourself creatively, you follow that when you feel that desire, and then when it feels like you get that restless kind of feeling, you're doing too much of it, then you give attention to the other desires possibly.
Yeah, also like the whole idea of going out and doing pickup. At this point, I can see very clearly that it's just it's not where it's at. For the kind of relationships that we talk about here, they kind of just come to you. You're on a bus and you look a woman in the eye and she looks at you and it's like, nice to see you again. It's been a long time. You know, there's that feeling of familiarity. And there's no game, there's no... when I meet a woman, I need to know that she has the ability to look me in the eye and feel my energy and not have to test me. You know? It's... So like, someone like you, like as deep as you are, I don't really see you running around the clubs doing... that stuff, you know, it'll happen when it happens. Just know what you want, know what role you want a woman to play in your life. If she's gonna help you with your mission or not, like not everybody wants to have that kind of relationship. Just get a clear idea of the kind of energy you want and know that it'll happen. Don't let the self-doubt, like, oh, you gotta go out and meet women and turns out that all that stuff is crap.
So would you no longer recommend it as a way of overcoming fears and learning?
Well, if you're too afraid to say hello to a girl, you should probably work on that a little bit. But I don't think that's where he's coming from. I don't think that's where he's coming from at all.
So do you have to like be totally detached from any attachment to experience, like experiencing things like
yeah, attachment is an illusion.
Yeah, like drop everything when you're in a circle, because it's like I've noticed that every single time that I attach something, it's like all like we're like tumbling down.
I'm sorry?
That every time I've attached to something, like it's like everything has went like tumbling down like really fast.
Yeah, like people, we try to own each other and we're so afraid to lose the love, you know? And the orange chakra teaches, you know, the feelings of butterflies, like, it's really telling us like to just go with the flow of the river. You know, I freely let go of what I don't need and welcome change. So like, if a girl's not happy, I'm not gonna try to make her happy, you know? It's like the toughest lesson. I can see so much pain in your eyes. It's like the toughest, one of the toughest. No sympathy, empathy, please. The difference between sympathy and empathy is, let's say we're on a boat and I get seasick and I start vomiting. If you're in empathy, you're like, oh, that must suck. And you bring me like some aspirin and a towel, you know, and help me. if you're in sympathy with me, you join me at the rail and start barfing yourself. You know? Sympathy is like try to save people, but we're really trying to save our inner child. Empathy is more like, I've been there. Now I'm not. Breathe your way through this one. This is the breath chakra. Yeah, because, you know, a couple blinks later, couple blinks from now, you're gonna look in the mirror, your skin's gonna look like wrinkled paper. You know?
What if you use apple cider vinegar?
Apple cider vinegar. Some people have a reaction to it and they go all like crusty.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty.
Coming to terms with like there's no death. To really think this was all there was, you know?
It's a fun body.
Some
Yeah.
What did you watch earlier?
What? I've learned that when someone makes a joke and I didn't hear it and he goes, I won't ask him to repeat it.
No, I think I know it's fun.
Do you want to talk more about it? Are you sufficiently embarrassed publicly?
No, I'm willing to be as empress as possible.
Proactive.
Just
Like,
go ahead.
Very
punch me.
It's a safe room to do it.
She made it to this room. She's got to be proactive.
Yeah.
What happened to those other girls?
Candy?
Too much light.
I don't know.
If there's one thing that's been answering my questions within about this last week and a half, it's been really opening up my heart. And I know just so many questions get answered when you do that. Can you give your best description on how to do that and what it's like doing that?
Okay. The chakras, I'll talk about all of the chakras. It's just a fancy way of saying your body. When you're paying attention to your body, when you're in your body, you're in the now. So like, if I have butterflies in my tummy, I know that that's a certain imbalance that I have. It's that I'm not letting go, I'm trying to control reality rather than just observing it and enjoying it for what it is. To live in the heart, it's like the universal mind comes in through this area. This is scientific, by the way. I can't explain it, but there's like electromagnetic frequencies of light and things like that. And it activates the thymus gland. And, just paying attention to the feelings in your chest and going with that. The more you pay attention to this area, feeling your heartbeat, feeling that, you know, that there's a trick that I read in that David Hawkins book. It's like if you want to open your heart really quickly, think about someone you love, smile, and go, what is it? Ooh.
Ha ha ha.
No.
Oh yeah, it's ha 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 ha. And think about someone you love. And look, I'll do it. I know it's stupid. If you try it, you start feeling like tingles all over here. Come on, try it. If not, at least you feel stupid enough to laugh. The main wisdom, although it's beyond words, but if we're gonna just talk about it on a mind level, is I am truly loved, by existence, source, God, whatever, I'm truly loved. And just holding that frame, that energy, will wake up and you've got 3 girlfriends. I accept myself fully as I am, or I love myself fully as I am. And it's really hard. Like, at first, it's like the mind resists that. No, you can't. You gotta self-improve, and you gotta work on your weaknesses. So, like, just keeping your consciousness here. If there's too much static here, I'll just go. And I'll feel my heart beating. And it goes quiet, doesn't it? It's simple, it's not hard. Get out of the belief that it's hard. It's not. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. Okay, it's hard. Thought you came to IG to get laid, didn't you?
Yeah, seriously.
I got a question for you. You were talking about being a leader versus too controlling.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my Indian came out on me.
Your inner Indian?
My inner Indian. It's like, no, no, no.
Bust out the Russell Peters impersonation.
But seriously though, like, at what point, like, you know, how do you really handle a shit test? Because like my ex-girlfriend would constantly
handle it by understanding it.
Yeah.
When you know what she's feeling, why she's feeling it, just know what to do, you know?
Do you become, what I've probably ran into is like if I become too like caring and hugging, then I might become too yin. So I was way young and I pushed through.
Could you give me the example? Is it too personal?
Oh no, the example, her mom was really, really strict.
Yeah?
And
speak up.
Her mom was really, really strict, and she was calling her a lot to come home. And I was like, you know, I'll take you home, but her car was locked in a parking garage. So she was freaking out about, like, you know, what I do now, mom. I'm like, just come from love, find a solution. I can take you home, and I'll wake you up in the morning, and I'll bring you to get your car. Or you can stay at my friend's house. But the mom is a fear right now. This is a great opportunity for us to grow together. And at that point, she calls her cousin, and she's like, I'm in trouble. So, yeah. And then I'm like,
It's
not
relationship material.
Right.
Controlled by the mom.
Right.
Backstabbing you to her friends. Playing the poor me. It's not a girlfriend, that's a vampire.
Yeah.
Sent to test you.
I'm still trying to find my blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready or not ready. Yeah.
Right.
You can't. Training is one thing. It's not like the girlfriend training program, not the like Jesus miraculous program.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I got this stuff. I know what I'm doing. She should, like, every girl should be a certain way. That's a consciousness I got into after I hung out with you.
Yeah.
I could make any girl anything.
No.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I know you have no questions. I see your eyes. Pretty chilled out.
Yeah, that's so much. I know.
You don't need to shave anymore.
I remember.
Yeah.
Have you ever popped wood in public with Amy Jo caressing you like that?
I haven't heard that in a really long time.
Next question.
He did a kegel.
No, you just shoot the energy up your spine.
Yeah. Amy Jo's been doing it for a long time.
As a group, how long do you all actually go without having sex?
Oh.
It's like,
It depends. We have sex.
As
We
a
have
group, I mean,
sex.
do you branch off? Everyone, I mean,
Well, no, like.
is it always the entire group? Or?
No.
That's
Sometimes it's just the girls.
As long the trust is there, there's doesn't have to be any rules about you know if you know one girl isn't there.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean like we can't talk to each other or be affectionate.
Yeah.
Well,
Hold
one
something.
thing that Amy Jo said this morning when we went to breakfast, just me and AJ, and she said, you know, it's funny when I kiss you, when I look at you, I feel Gita and Greta, and they're in my consciousness. I was like, glad I met you.
Yeah. It's proactiveness, you know?
Yeah. So there's no rules.
No.
We didn't jump into bed like on the first night of the circle or anything.
Well.
I like to wait at least a few days or even like 2 weeks. I waited with the last circle. Just waited for the time to be right. And a lot of guys are still in the mentality where they're trying to get sex.
Yeah, he's withholding.
I'm not withholding. I'm just when it feels right here, here and all over, then we'll have sex.
That's really more my question. Not that there were rules. I didn't think
Yeah,
there were, but more that are there prolonged periods of time that you choose not to?
Not to have sex?
Right. For whatever reasons, you're reading or you're expanding your consciousness in another area.
Yeah, I'll have like a week off or whatever where like if I'm really in a place where I shouldn't have sex.
Yeah. You have other backgrounds.
Or like especially like I don't like to ejaculate a lot.
Right.
So you lose a lot of energy. I still like to. All over their face. And then they make out with each other.
Oh yeah.
I'm just really not that horny. Honestly, like you think like, why do you need 3 girlfriends? You must be really horny. The girls, on the other hand.
That's why we have backup.
That's why we have backup, you know. That's why we have girlfriends. You know, he's off doing his mission, reading his book. You know, we have sex.
Oh, so
Tough life.
I see how it works. Satori.
We know he's on
So I have a question. What's day-to-day life? I know you guys just started, but like in wake up, 7 a.m., 8 a.m.
We just hang out. I'm teaching Amy Jo how to run ideagasms for me. Her job is going to be to make it so that I don't have to touch a computer ever again. Even like writing newsletters, she'll like take dictation. Like she has secretary fantasies, you know. With Gita loves to clean. she's really.
I love it.
When I first started dating her, her mom called and she's like, "Oh, what's Gita up to?" And I was like, "Oh, she's cooking." And her mom said, "Oh, that means that she's happy, you know." Crazy goosebumps. And it's true, like when Gita's happy, she's like, she's like of a servant mentality. People are gonna kill me for this. God, slave, and servant. We're all here to serve each other. Okay. So like, I don't know, we just hang out, we go to the beach,
Greta gives us massages.
hang out. I read a lot of books, like I have a voracious appetite for books. And so I'll just be like, girls, 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 come here! And I'll read this paragraph to them, and they'll be like,
No.
No, they'll be like, whoa, that's cool.
We'll cuddle up
And they're like, okay, go away, I'm looking for truth. So like, my job is to find the truth. Like, I just want to know everything about everything. It's not too much to ask, you know? So my job is kind of to go find that, because I'm good at it. And their job is to really just help me and make it easy, because they make my life easy, I help make their life easy. And a circle is really a spiral of evolution, as I see it.
Yeah, Amy just said it perfectly in the car when she's like, Kita, I want to make your life easier. That's all I want to do.
And we're like, wait, you're a girl, you're supposed to make life difficult. Test me! Don't cheat on me or something.
But it's true, we just make our lives
Easier.
We just,
I mean, and
well, I mean,
sometimes
Really
more
simple
difficult,
life, like really, really simple.
Yeah.
Others.
Simple.
Really simple. And we share each other's clothes.
Yeah, like.
Steph, do you think if I had like a job and I gotta work 9 to 5, gotta make money, I mean, is there how do I word this? In your life situation?
I don't think so. You have to be rich.
We eat a lot of food.
No, what I mean by that is if you have a job, you're still really young, and you still have sacral chakra issues. You haven't come to terms with other frequencies of abundance. Having a job is a stepping stone, hopefully, onto something greater.
Yeah.
Having a job is like the ultimate, just giving your power away.
I know what you mean, yeah.
You know,
totally.
I've had plenty of jobs got me to where I am today. You know?
Yeah.
But to have a circle, like the lower 3 chakras got to be handled and hard. You know, like it's on the road for you.
Yeah, I feel like I need to study, do school, and really master engineering.
Yeah.
And do something amazing with it. I feel that. And that'll require 24 hours of work.
Yeah.
I see other engineers doing that.
Also,
but then afterwards.
Also a circle, the way I see it, for it to really be a good one, everyone really has to just be like on a spiritual path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not about like, I'm not in this for me and my desires. I could pay hookers if I want to get laid. It's a lot less work probably, I don't know. Okay, I do know. But it's not about me, it's about human consciousness and the search for truth. It's a cause that I feel is greater than myself, greater than us. It's not about what do I want, what does AJ and Kita and Greta want. It's when we have to make a major life decision, we're like, what do we think would better serve existence, better serve human consciousness? That's a... You start making decisions that are like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Yeah. It's like really living on the edge. Okay, shut it off.
Oh, we love you.
It's not me you love, it's human consciousness.
My brain loves your brain. This brain. These vessels love that vessel. This biology works really well.
feminine girls. Bubbly, giggly.
I don't know your family. I don't know your family.
Sometimes when we're out and like people are watching them kiss, I'll just walk up to them and I'll go, God, lesbians are so gorgeous.
She has lipstick on.
Yeah, there's some lipstick lotion.
No butch in this bed.
Wow, what's the community gonna think of this? This is so beyond method, so beyond all this other stuff right here.
Misery.
The seduction community is in the mind control. It took me a long time to come to terms with that. I had to face a lot of inner demons because I was in it. I was totally in it. I was doing group sets, amogging the guy, walking over to the couple, you know, like just doing all that stuff. Yeah, I learned. It's all mind control, that stuff. It's not real. It's not about love, that stuff. It's about pure ego validation. As soon as we think, how can I get a girl attracted to me? Fuck you, you're thinking with your dick. You're thinking with your ego.
Wow. We knew that a lot.
It turns out I was right. All right.
Enough?
Yeah.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
We'll do some more.
Yeah, tomorrow, you know? Get more time.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
I just want to make something clear that thanks for the applauding and whatever, but I'm not going in my head and going, I'm so great, look at what I've accomplished. I'm going, look at us, look at consciousness and how great consciousness can be if we get out of the mind. You know? It's not about me, it's about us, it's about anyone. There is bliss. The matrix is wrong. The matrix, the structure of the matrix is right. This is all an illusion, and there's something beyond this that we're not seeing. But it's not dark. It's not conspiracy theory. It's bliss. So, it's like even in sports, like I play pool really well. And when I make a good shot, or 88 good shots in a row, the guy's crying. I love pool tournaments with a circle. The guys are shaking. I just give me your money. Like, let's not even bother playing. But like, when I'm really in the zone, I'm not thinking, wow, my game is so tight. I'm thinking, you know, wow, this is what humanity can achieve.
Yeah, plus it's so sexy.
It's like what Gita said. What Gita said the other day. There is no I in team.
Yeah.
So it's not about me. It's not about them. It's about all of us. And hopefully this will help to awaken that we don't have to stay in the old rules. We can make our own rules now. You could have a relationship with 10 men if you want. It doesn't matter.
It happens.
I'm really jealous of you.
In the future, we're going to see relationships where people are in solitude and they're completely fulfilled. We're going to see groups. We're going to see couples, but in a new dimension, in a new way, without all the control and the mind control stuff. Just pure free will. You're not happy? Cool. Maybe you'd be happy over here or whatever. So, this is my...